Are you trying to build your class but only want to see items that are actually useful to you? Then it is time to finally make that loot filter. So in today's video, we're going to be learning how to create your own personalized loot filter so you can farm for gear more efficiently instead of staring at every single piece you get. But I mean, hey, if you prefer it that way, more power to you, my man. But anyway, let's get into the video. Alright gamers, so this is how you create your loot filter fast and easily. So first you want to do is hit Shift F so you can actually pull it up here. You can even hit the 3-line burger icon and it'll be right there, right under game guide and right above map and quests. So then what you want to do here is hit the plus sign and create new filter. Name it whatever the hell you like, put whatever colors, descriptions, whatever you want to put on it, and then there you go. Now for the first rule we're going to be doing is to actually remove normal or white items from the loot pool so we can get rid of that trash. So you're going to go to visibility, change from show to hide, then add a condition, change that to rarity, and then click on normal. And there you go. We're now hiding all white items so you only see blue and above, so that's great. Now, the second rule I like to do is to hide weapons that are not focused specifically for your character or the build you're going for. So again, change show to hide, then go to condition, go to item type, and then since I'm on a falconer, my build is all around using a bow, so I'm going to hide all one-handed weapons, hide the two-handed weapons, and keep bow. Then for offhand, get rid of offhand catalyst and shield and keep quiver. Obviously keep armor, accessories, and idols blank, do not touch those. And there you go. So with this you can then set it to where, I know certain characters might use a variety of different weapons, or you might just be messing around with stuff. I just keep it to weapons that you know work within your character's builds and actually can scale specific damage stuff with either skills, passives, whatever. Now for the third rule, we're going to be hiding class-specific items for characters the opposite of yours. So again, change from show to hide, and then we're going to go to class requirement. And then we're going to do Primalist, Mage, Sentinel, and Acolyte since I'm on a rogue, and remove them. Now I will say, for both of these, for step 2 and for step 3, if you are playing online with some friends, you can go back and make sure to still show items focused for their classes, so you can trade them items that could help their builds. And, you know, they could obviously do the same for you. So you guys can kind of help each other focus on your own loot as well as focusing on their loot too, so you can kind of farm together, which honestly is pretty nice. Alright, now for step 4, this one is the long one. This is where it gets a little long. Everything else is pretty simple. This is the most important rule in my opinion. So this is setting up a filter for affixes. So what we're gonna do is keep it on show, and we're gonna do affix for the condition. And then we're gonna go up here, and there's a lot of things to pick through, but what you want to look at is what your class specifically scales off of, or your build, mastery, whatever. What will it scale off of? Which you can find out by looking at your passive and skill trees. Like for example, I'm playing Falconer, which scales on dexterity, melee damage, minion damage, physical damage, and for certain skills, also throwing damage. So we're gonna click dexterity from the top here. I'm gonna do mana and mana regen, just so I can get some little mana back. For melee, we're gonna do melee physical damage, and then just melee damage. We're gonna do throwing damage and reduce mana cost. And I feel like you can kind of see where we're going with this. Some bow attack speed since we're using a bow. Crit strike chance and multiplier. And physical damage as well. So you're just going to flesh this out fully using or focusing on what your build focuses around and the things that it will scale with. Now as you're scrolling down, you're going to get to the class specific items after you finish out both the offensive, defensive, also other. Now once you're down here to class specific, you can then scroll through. Usually it can be a lot, but I look for things that are specific of abilities. So like for me, damage an area with dive bomb, level of air assault, level of explosive trap, level of dive bomb, level of falconry. You can keep looking through at other stuff like level of smoke bomb since I use smoke bomb a lot. and you can kind of filter out things that you would like to see on your armor. I know there's a lot, but if you just take the time to sit there for a little bit and go through them, you'll probably find just a few things that you really want to focus into. And now for idols, it's pretty much the same. It's just a whole lot of information, but you're just going to go through and look for things that are useful to you, like shared critical strike multiplier. Very good. And stuff like, see, even me, I'm looking like crazy right now. But just take some time to look through, and yeah, you'll be able to find everything you are looking for and finish that out. Now that you have that set up, here's the extra things I want you to do before you are done with this. You're going to then want to change to recolor. So you can change it so that when items with these affixes pop up, they'll have a specific color on them, which is really nice since it'll, make it pop up different than others. So let's do like, a light blue. Do that one, and then also hit emphasize, which will capitalize the items, making the label even bigger so it stands out even more. And one last thing as well, I would say, is to change the amount of affixes for this to pop up from 1 to 2. So you're not getting just items with 1 out of the 4 affixes you're looking for. Instead, you're getting 2+. If you really wanted to, especially later game, you could change that to 3. You could even do 4 if you're crazy, even though I'd never recommend doing that. But for now, especially early game to mid game, even like beginning of end game, I would leave it at probably 2. I think that is the best bet. One rule I completely forgot about going over was showing personal and experimental items. So what we're going to want to do is go and hit add, leave it on show, and then do affix. And then you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. You have experimental and personal. Experimental are basically like your seasonal, league, whatever you want to call it, mechanics. And they'll have specific class-based things, so you can choose which ones you want or whatever else. But these drop from those mage enemies that spawn in from those, I don't even know what they're called, but you'll know what I mean if you've seen them. And then you also have personal items, which add very specific buffs, like ward gain when damage leaves you at a low health. And a lot of them are class specific, so you can click the ones you want or everything. Yep. So there you have it, the basics of creating a loot filter for all of your characters. You can continue to either modify or add more rules as you go to further try and target what kind of loot you're looking for. This was just really meant to be a way of helping people get their foot through the door who may have just put it aside or were afraid to try it out like I was at first because they think it may just be too confusing. And it really isn't, it's just the game doesn't give you that much information on how to properly use it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you'd like to see more Last Epoch content because I'm really enjoying this game. I'm also streaming this live on Twitch every day at twitch.tv/superdsx. So if you see me live, come hang out and ask me anything. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Peace!